Great, welcome 8th grade. Today is our first day to be making our pin cushions. I'm going to be calling you guys up in groups like you guys know how, and I'll be demoing the steps for you. All of the directions are written here, okay? So by the end of this period today, you're going to be going through steps 1 through 9. I'm going to be doing some of I do, and then you're going to be doing you do, just like I'm showing you in the demo, okay? So today what you're going to need is your fabric if you brought it. Otherwise, you may borrow from the small bin from me. Then you need your thread and bobbin that you've been working with, and you're going to need 10 straight pins, and you can take those from the straight pins jar. Use the magnet to help take the pins out, and you need 10 of them. Please lay them in a safe spot next to your station. Today I'm going to go ahead and use a star just to show you as an example, okay? You may use a lime green sheet as you work. First step says, fold fabric pretty side to pretty side. All of your fabric will have a pretty side, and we call this the ugly side, okay? If your fabric is the same on both sides, you choose which your ugly side or pretty side will be. You're gonna fold it pretty side to pretty side, and if you have a big piece of fabric, always work in the corner, kind of like cookie dough. You don't wanna ruin the center. If I would cut the center, then I have wasted space. So push it to the corner, but not all the way. You need about an inch or two, a finger or two's worth away from the edge, okay? So you're gonna go ahead and lay it pretty side to pretty side, and you may place your pattern on your fabric. I have folded it in half because I need a front and a back. You're gonna take your pen or pencil, and you're gonna go ahead and just simply trace the pattern. Step 2 says to trace the pattern onto the ugly side, place it in the upper left corner, don't waste fabric. We went over that. Step 3, you're going to then cut around the shape, okay? This is really important. You can't cut, too close to the line, otherwise you will have holes. So I always tell my students to go at least a finger's worth away. Okay, you're gonna keep it a finger's worth away. In the meantime, I would recommend that you go ahead and pin the center. You're gonna take the pin and go through 2 fabrics, pin it back up at the top. To make sure you've gone through both fabrics, you can check to see if you see the metal piece, okay? That's gonna hold your fabric in place. We're gonna pin it later, but we don't wanna cut all around the pins because it's way too much. So you're gonna go ahead and then cut like a finger's worth away. And as I'm cutting, I'm still maintaining the shape. Once it's cut out, you're gonna take your straight pins, you're gonna go ahead and pin about 5 lines, 6 lines. You don't wanna overuse the pins. Place your straight pin on one side of the line, bring it underneath, and it should appear on the other side of the line. Do that in about 4 or 5 spots, and that will hold your place. Okay, questions? Use this. Right now you are doing steps 1 through 4. All right, go for it. You have done steps 1 through 3, or 1 through 4 possibly. If not, use this as your guide. Questions so far? All right. Step 5 says, starting on the start line, either line is okay, back stitch and start sewing around the shape. Remove the pins as you sew. I'm going to be sewing without without thread, just so that way I don't beat up my demo. But I have a start and stop line. It just said we can use either line, okay? For the star, this one's so close to the corner, I recommend just starting at the corner. It said to back stitch, sew, sew, sew all the way until I get to the stop. You need to leave an opening. Why do you suppose?
So you can turn it inside out.
Absolutely. Good, awesome. So I'm gonna start. Remember, I don't actually have thread in here, so you're just gonna kind of watch the needle move. Put my presser foot down, and I'm going to lower the needle. I go for 2. Now what?
Back stitch.
Okay, now the different thing is about this is you have thread going with you. Last time, if you messed up, we didn't have thread, we could just pick it up and move it. You can't do that this time. So if there's ever a mistake, don't worry, we can always seam rip. Right, good. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and go to the corner. Just like you did in practice, when you get to a corner, what do I do?
Stop, press your foot and turn it.
Good. I'm gonna keep going all the way and around the shape. Now the heart is a little different because you don't have as many points, so you're just gonna have to carefully go around like you were sewing curves before, okay? I'm gonna work all the way around, and then when I get to here, get to the end, I would back stitch, okay? Flip the project inside out, push out the corners using a pencil or a wooden stick. In your fiber fill bag, you may find a wooden stick, okay? If so, that's gonna help you push out your corners. So this is just kind of to show you a little bit. You're gonna continue to flip it inside out, and it's gonna look like a ball, and you're gonna think, oh my gosh, what did I do, because this doesn't look anything like a star or a heart. It will start to get its shape once you push out the corners, push them out to a really nice point, and then as you start to stuff it, you will also see its shape, but we're not getting to the stuffing yet. You're flipping it inside out because that is step 9. Questions?